Hello everyone, welcome back to more Tametsi. I think we got through 2 puzzles in the last episode, but one of them I made several mistakes in. I got through one without a mistake, that was nice, I guess. And I think we're on to 59 next, right? Yeah, we did Hex Ring 2. H. Well, what do you know, it's an H. This is a 2x4, what a weird shape. Okay, this is easy. If I can solve the rest of the puzzle this quickly, we'll be done in no time. We don't have diagonals, this one is done. Only 2 of the C's. This 3? There's at most one of these 2, perhaps none. But that forces 2 more on this 3, and they have to be here. And now, we still have 1 more to go, and it has to go in here, which means this is done. Or this is not a mine, rather. Now these zeros... This 1 has to go here. So the 0 goes here. These 2's work together with the 2's in this column, don't they? There's 4 total, and they have to be touching the 2's. So the 2 spaces here and the 2 spaces here are safe. Now this 1 goes here, and we put this 1 here. 0, 1. 1 has to go there. This is 0. 1 goes there. So far, so good. There's a 0, and a 1, and a 0. This 2 only has 2 neighbors. One of them is very large. Now this 0's done, and this 1 can go. 0, still chugging along. This 1 and this 1 mean the rest of the row is clear. 1 goes there, and these ones go here. This 0 goes here, and the 1 puts a mine there. This 1 has to go there. This 1 goes here, and now we have a 0. Where do I go now? The 2 row clue looks interesting, but I don't see what to do with it. These 2 1s don't have a useful overlap because of this and these. Haha. Okay, this 2 and this 1 are good though. There has to be one of these 2, and the other mine for the 2 goes here. That means this 1 is finished aside from these 2 spaces. And now we have a 0 here, and this big old 0 here. This 1 goes there. This is a 0 now. This 1 has to go here, right? Right? I just have to like do everything extra slow when I don't have diagonals. For example, because of that stupid, there's no reason to make that conclusion. Okay, well, moving on. These 2 1s work together. There's a mine here, and therefore not one here. Now this 0 gives me these. This 2 is done. This 0 goes here. And this 0. This 2. The 0 reveals this C. And this C is a mine. Is this really a perfect diagonal that is going to just alternate? I think it is. We have one of these two. We have one of these two. We have one of these two. And we have one of these two. And this one will be determined by whether there's a mine here. Oh, and there is, because of this 2. It's next to a bunch of squares, but because of diagonals, only 2 of them are relevant. Now I get the rest of this. So, I don't know. In terms of like the fact that this game keeps track of whether you solved a puzzle without making a mistake, it would be nice for me to solve them without mistakes, but I'm okay as long as I can, like, I don't know. If the game tells me I'm wrong, and then I go back and prove why I was wrong and what the right thing was, I'm okay with it. I don't have to go back over that puzzle. I'm not 100% completionist. Just like thinking about the last episode, I guess. Anyway, no, that happened already on this puzzle. Yeah. Anyway, we have a 0 column here. That goes there. That's a 0. That's a 1. This 1 and this 2 put a mine here. And one of these is mine, so this isn't, which should solve the area? Yes. There are 3 blue mines, and I think I can nail them all down. 3 B mines, I should say. Yes, I can nail them all down. So this 2 can only have 1 that's not a B, so there's at least 1 here. This 2 can only have 1 that's not a B, so there's at least 1 here. And this 4 can only have 3 that aren't B's, so there's at least 1 here. Therefore, all these B's in the middle are not mines. That's our B down in this area. These 1s put mines here. This 1 goes there. This 1 puts a mine there, and that's our mine attached to this 1. Now these 1s resolve all this nonsense. Okay. There are only 2 gray mines left. And they have to be in these 2 columns. So they can't be either of these. And we'll also see that this is the last A mine, but we'll get to that. I guess when we're getting to it is now, huh? There's 1 gray mine in this column. Oh, actually, I'm not sure. It's one of these 2, but it could be either. But importantly, it can't be one of these. Can it? Well, why not? Because we need something touching this 1, which has to be one of these 2, and also something in this row. Got it. So here, all right, I was wrong. It's this one. Okay, that's an all right performance. I would have liked to be perfect, of course, but I'm okay with that. Windmill. There's a 0 column, my favorite. We have diagonals this time. These 2 3s next to each other give me these not mines. This 2 sandwiched between 2 1s feels a little weird. Yeah, it should, there can only be 1 in this area, so there's at least 1 of these 2. Likewise, there can only be 1 in this area, so there's at least 1 of these 2. That means this 2 can't have any of these. And furthermore, these 1s can't have anything going away from the 2. This 2 is going to have a similar relationship with these ones. I think I've just realized, by the way, why I keep making a mistake with this kind of pattern of like a plus of squares, where like, imagine, if you will, for a moment, you don't have to imagine, I have a pen. Imagine this whole area here was not clues. It was already revealed squares. Or it was mines, whatever. Then we would look at this 2 next to this 1, and we would say, well, there's 1 here, therefore there's exactly 1 here. And that's not so useful for a 2 and a 1, because there's nothing on the other end, but like if this were a 1, you would say, oh, there's 1 here, therefore there's none here. That's an inference I've made many times throughout this series. And it's one that you discover for yourself fairly early on in like trying to understand Minesweeper. Almost said Minecraft there. But I keep trying to apply it when there's space back here. And in that case, you can't say that. You can't say there's a mine here. Well, you can if this happens to be a 1. But in general, like, a plus shape does not let you say a 1 next to a 1 reveals the 3 that they're pointing at. So why is it that I make that mistake? I think it's because you never encounter this shape in Minesweeper. How would you ever get to a spot where you have a plus, right? Because you solve things from the outside in. And anything that revealed this 2 would have revealed at least one of the 2 spaces next to it, I think. Or else there would be mines here. Yeah, these spaces would either be revealed or there'd be mines. So I think that's what's going on, is like, I'm pattern matching mentally on like this shape here, and not accounting for the fact that I need to know something about what's over here, because in Minesweeper you always do. But with this puzzle kind of giving you row clues and stuff like that to jump around between areas, you don't always solve stuff from the inside out or the outside in. You can do little pieces of regions much more frequently. So this is coming up more often. And I haven't yet adjusted to it, I think. No guarantees that I'll adjust to it instantly or anything, but at least now I think I understand why I keep making that mistake. Anyway, this 2, we can make a similar argument, like I was saying, as this, right? There's 1 in each of these groups, therefore these 1s are finished. Or don't have anything else anyway. This 2 works with this 1, putting a mine here. One of these 2, therefore not here. Now this 1 can put a mine there, resolving these 1s into 0s. This 1 has to go there and there. Now this is a 0. This 2 next to this 1 puts a mine here. And now these 1s are giving me no mine here. This 1 and this 1 put no mine here. Now this 1 and this 1 put no mine here. That's the end of the line for that group, though. We have 1 here and 1 here. But that can't be that useful, can it? I don't think so. Well, I can just go over here. Now I have some more 0s to work with. These 2 2s are working together now. Now that I've filled this square in. There's 1 of these, there's 2 of these 2, and therefore none in this row. This 2 next to these 1s is good. There's 1 here, therefore 1 here, therefore none of these. This 2 and this 4 don't really help, do they? I just know there's 2 of these 4, which, like, okay, I don't know what to do about that. We're almost ready to start using these column clues, but we're not there yet. The thing that might be more promising is working on these 3 numbers. This 1 has a mine here, therefore there's exactly one of these 2, right? Which means 3 of these 4? But what do I do with that? Oh, no, it's okay, here we go. This 1 has one of these 2 squares. That means this 2 has one of these 3. No. Because they share this B also. No, yeah, that's true. It is true. What I said is true. But it doesn't actually help as much as I thought it would. We have one of these 2. Therefore, one of these 3. Let's actually draw it. One of these. One of these. But that doesn't help the 2 because it's... Wait. Well, maybe. Its overlap with this 1 is kind of weird. Because we have also one of these 3. And that doesn't overlap perfectly with any of these groups, but it's sort of neat, maybe. I feel like we can get this 4 somehow, but maybe I should look elsewhere. See if I'm missing something easier. Yeah, I am. This 1, 2, 1 means there's one of these, therefore not here. I don't think we get any further than that in that area, though. What about this 4? How many squares are there left to fill? There are 6. Which is too many. We can rule out one of these 2. Then we have 3 mines to place in the last 4. But we don't really have any guidance about where they should go. Right? I mean, we know one of them's here. We know one of them's here, but like those are not disjoint with the areas we already marked. I don't think it's useful, but we can conclude there's at least one B mine in this column. because we have to put 4 into 6, which means a group of 3 has at least 1 in it. And I don't have enough for any of these row clues, I don't think. Well, I have a little bit. For example, I have that there's at least 1 B in this row. Because we have to put 2 into 5, so there can be only 1 gray mine at most, therefore at least 1 B. Okay. Yes, I think I can say something about the B's. So we know there's at least 1 in this row, and we already said there's at least 1 in this column. And I'm going to prove there's at least 1 in this row. It doesn't look like there is, because there are 4 gray spaces. Why can't it go into all of those? But it can't, because suppose we had these. This 0 would break this 1 now, right? There'd be no place for the second mine here. So there can't be 4 gray... Oh shit, there's this A. It's not gray, so I thought it didn't count, you know? Okay... but we can still do the same thing, because this 1 also has the same property, right? For this row of 4s, there can be 1 gray mine there, and 1 gray mine there. There's still 2 more mines. 1 can be an A, but the last one has to be a B. So we've proven, first of all, that this A is a mine, and second, that all of the B mines have yellow lines going through them right now. So I can say that's a mine. And these are all not mines. Oh, goodness. That was pretty cool. I didn't really think we were going to get anywhere looking at that stuff, but 3 turns out to be a small enough number in this context. What else have I learned? I thought I'd learn more from this. Can I say that one of these B's has to be a mine? I don't think I can. It could be both of these two, couldn't it? No. Because, again, there's 1 in each... Oh wait, no. What am I talking about? There's 1 in each column. So, in each row. I don't understand directions. So in this row, it might be one of these 2, and in this row, it might be one of these 2, and then none of these would be a thing. I can say some things about C's, I guess, which doesn't seem useful yet, but I didn't think the B's were useful either. Sorry, I'm a little distracted by this area here now. And this 2 clue is almost finished, right? We have like one of these, maybe, like, right? There's 3 places these 2 mines could go. And this 2 interacts with that somewhat. Okay, I mean, only one of these is a mine, right? At most one is a mine. Yes. That means these 3s have mines over here. And furthermore, this is not a mine because we've found the mine up here. So this 0 goes down here. We can put a 1 in. Now this 2 column is done because there's at most 1 in these 2, which means this is the last one. There's exactly 1 here, which means this ain't it. And now this is the B in this column. Can't quite resolve this area yet, though. I guess we're going to need A clues or gray clues. This 2, though, needs both mines here to be finished. Now we have a 0, which resolves all this stuff. These 1s put no mine here. I need to know the mine count to get these, I think. So it could be 1 or 2 here. Either this and this, or just this. Well, the mine count's pretty low already. It's 3. And we know there's at least 2 A's up here. So there's only 1 down here, right? Means it's that one. And furthermore, this isn't a mine either. Now these 1s work together to give me no mine here. And with the 2 to put the mine there finally. Now the 3 needs everything to finish, and we've got that column. I hope that might give me some information about these 2 wings. But I guess I have to solve it. Well, okay, it told me how many gray mines there are in them, I guess. There's 5. That's interesting. But I guess I could have known that if I'd counted, right? 1, 2 in this row, a 3rd here. Oh, that's the last gray space in this row, and we know there's a gray mine here. Those 2 have to be here. That's the B in this row. This 1 marks a C. Don't know about this yet. I almost thought this 2 was a 2 clue and said these are both mines, but that's nonsense. This 2 I also don't know yet, but I do know only one of these B's, so this C. Yes, I can make an argument about C's now. I have to think it out, but the idea is, let's get a pencil. We have one of these 2 exactly, therefore exactly one of these 2. We can also say one of these 3, but that's not important right now. And over here, because the 2's next to the 1, we can say there's at least one of these 3. Well, that's both of our C's, right? So all the other C's are not mines. This 1 looks like it's been done for a while, hasn't it? No, it needed this C to be cleared. There's 1 more gray mine in this row. But I don't really know where it is yet. So these 1s are the areas where this 3 has its last mine. And then the B's, of course, are its 3rd mine. This has only one more mine. And it has to be touching this one. That's where we needed to look. So this is open. Now this 2 in these 1s puts a mine in one of these 2. And we had only 1 in this area for the 2. So this isn't a mine. That's our C in this area, as I recall, right? Double check. This 1 works with these ones to give me this. Right. Oh, and something we could have figured out earlier. Did I make a mistake? No. We know where the last B mine is. It's here because of this 1. So it can't be here. I thought I had incorrectly drawn a conclusion about these 2 Bs because of this 2. Or because of the B clue, but I drew it because of this 1, and so that was still correct. These 2 1s work together to show no mine in this space, so that's our last C. This 0 opens up this area. These 2 1s reveal this space. That's our last B mine. That's our last gray mine, and we're done. Was that 2 in a row without a mistake in one episode? Or was that 2 episodes? I'm losing track. Oh my god, what the hell is this? Wait, I did this one already. I don't even know what I clicked on. No, I must have made a mistake on this somewhere. I don't remember what it was anymore. Oh, I was talking about how you need to be careful with diagonals, and then I wasn't careful with diagonals, I think. Anyway, all right, let's try to make it 2 in a row. Carpet remnant. We have diagonals on. No zeros lying around. But these 2 1s give us this space. These 2 1s would give us this space, but we just got it anyway. Mine there, that's a 0, that's a 0. These 2 1s give us this space. These 2 1s give us these spaces. These 2 1s give us these spaces. These 3. I got the rest because there was 0, not because I knew about them, of course. This 2 next to a 1 puts a mine here and not here. This 1 needs a mine here, and now we've got some zeros to work with. Can't do anything here yet. This 2 and 1 put a mine here and not here. Mine zeros. 2 and 1 put a mine here and not here. This 1 puts the mine there. We have a 0. This is a 0. These 2 1s cooperate on these 2 squares, but not these 2. This 2 needs 2 mines. These 2 1s see here and also here. This 3 and 1 share these 2 squares. The 3's last mines go there. Only 1 in the column. That will hopefully be useful soon. This is a 0, and that's a 1, and that's a 1. This is now a 0. I'm just reading you numbers, but the point is those are actionable numbers, right? None of the edges look very interesting right now. This 1 is sort of what's standing out, but no, the B's. There's only 1 B left. That's surely interesting somehow. But it doesn't seem to be, because we could fit both of this 2's mines here. And then there would be none of these. I'd like to find that there's one of these, and then I could clear this all up. But I don't see how to do that. What about A's? A's are almost interesting, right? because this 6 row is almost exclusively A's. We know there's exactly one here. But that doesn't really give me any more than I could get with the 6, I don't think. In particular, there might be a mine here. But regardless, there are somewhere in here at least 5 mines. Somewhere in this big old area. At least 5 A's. There's at most 3 A's in this column. Or in these remaining 4. But just knowing, you know, at most 3 of 4, that means there's at least one of these A's isn't a mine. I already knew that, because that's true here. Or no, it's not. I didn't know that yet. So one of these 3 or this one, at least, is not a mine. That doesn't really tell me much, right? Oh, these 2 1s work together. We have here, and they don't overlap here, so that's not a mine. Yes. Okay. Now, there are 2 C's left. But I can't tell where they are. There's got to be something about column clues or color clues. There just has to be. Because you can't get anywhere with just the stuff on the board right now. I'm fairly certain. What column clues are interesting? This 2 jumps out, and this 1. This 4 looks okay, but like we know there's 1 here, and the rest is big old question marks. This 1, there's too many places it could be. So this 2 and this B are the most promising, I think. There's nothing I can do with this 3 next to this 1 because they only share a single tile. These 2 1s have perfect overlap. They're giving me the same information. So it really has to be these B's and this or this 2. There's 1 B. I mean, okay, let's try a little experiment here. Suppose we said that both of these were mines. None of these B's are mines. Really doesn't tell me much, does it? So maybe we could do something like, let's imagine we put a mine on this B. Now there's nothing here, and there has to be one here. These are all clear, and we have mines here. Again, this seems perfectly possible. Okay. And I assume we would get something sort of interesting if we put one, say, here. Because we get none of these bees now. This one would have to be finished here. Nothing there. Again, both of these, which is obvious. If we put the bee in any of these, we'll get both of these. But this again looks fine. I mean, something we can say for certain, and not just with guessing, is that at least one of these two is a mine. Doesn't seem to help. I guess I could try making guesses about these A's. Right? Suppose we put a mine here. There'd be none here, therefore there'd be one here. Therefore none of this, but both of these. That's sort of the most restrictive thing we could do, is put an A there. And it still seems totally plausible. Maybe what I can do is work out the C's, actually. I'm just not sure where to go next. So suppose we put a mine here. That's quite restrictive, right? Means the rest of this column is empty. That's the one, or the C, and we would have this. That seems fine. So what if we said this is a C, is a mine? We'd have none of these. We'd have this. None of these, which means this and not this. Two of these, but doesn't seem to matter. So once again, this seems fine. So I guess the last thing I haven't tried is this C in the middle. I don't expect that to be too revelatory, though, right? We'd have this, and therefore this. And not this. Yeah, this told us almost nothing. So I don't see any future in guessing the C. Well, if there were some square down here that was the same no matter what, then that would be kind of interesting, right? Like we maybe could see that one of these is never a mine no matter what we do. I don't think that's true, though. If we let this be the mine, then we only get this far. And for all we know, this could be a mine, this could be a mine. One of them, not both, obviously. I feel like there must just be something more obvious that I'm missing. Some part of the grid that I'm dismissing as uninteresting that actually can tell me something quite useful. I don't think it's the D's. Because there's so many of them. I don't think it's this 4. We have exactly one here, at least one here, and then the other 2, you know, or 1 fit into this area somewhere. Oh, we don't even have at least one here, do we? It could be both of these. Could I be wrong about these? Maybe I put something wrong down already. Oh, get out of drawing mode. Let me unmark some mines and see if I can reconclude them all for sure. Let me just unmark all the mines. They should be pretty obvious, right? No, that's a mine as well. So this one, yep, definitely goes there. This one definitely goes there. This one definitely goes there. This 2 marks these 2. This one has to go there. This 3 is next to this 1. They share these spaces, but not these. There's a mine there, mine there, mine there, mine there. And that. So I think we're now back to where we left off. I think I remarked everything that I just unmarked. Which is not a surprise. It means we didn't have anything weird going on. I guess there's sort of a not very interesting, but there is a parity proof about this B and A pair, right? If this A is a mine, then this isn't, and this is. If this A isn't a mine, then this is and this isn't. So this A and B are the same. They're either both mines or both not mines. Okay. And this space is the opposite of both of them, which is not a surprise. I don't know, could it be the A's after all? I don't think it is. Let's try not including this A when we look at the row. Then we know there's at least 4 of these. If we include this one, there's at least 5. But this way there's at least 4, right? And that means there's exactly 1 here. So there's at least 5 in this whole area. Well, that tells us there's at most 3 up here, which you can see with your own eyes because there's only 3. So I guess We could sort of try something a little bit more bold, I guess, and say, is it possible that none of these are mines? I doubt it is, but let's try it. We'd have to have one here and one, therefore, not here. Now there are 8 mines to place. Only one can go here. And 6 here. So that's impossible. We do know at least one of these A's is a mine. I think that's a small amount of progress, because we hadn't proven that before. But I don't really know how to prove which one of them. Could be all of them, right? Did we try that? Could they all be mines? No mine here. Therefore, a mine here, and none of these, and both of these. But more importantly, down here, we have at least 5 in this area, which, if one of them is here, is just enough to finish all the A's. So it seems, at first glance, like it's possible that they could all 3 be mines, but they can't all 3 be not mines. I think those are the extremes. I think 1 and 2 are both possible. Right, suppose both of these, but not this. We'd have this, one of these, 1, 2, 3. We need 5 more in this area, which there's just room for if you do this. Wait a minute. Oh, or... Did I count wrong when there were all of them? Because I thought I came to a similar conclusion. No, that's right. Okay. So you could have just 2. And I think you could have just 1 as well. Like that. No. Because now you have to place... Oh, yeah. You have to place 6 more A's in this row, which you can do if this isn't a mine. So there could be 1 or 2 or 3, but not 0 of these. It just has to be this column somehow. And I'm not seeing it. I don't have any other hints about this area up here. Or here. So I can't figure out whether there's 1 or 2 in this. But of course I know there aren't 0. We figured that out a while ago. There's really no useful overlap on any of these squares. That's so... it feels wrong. Was I wrong about this B? I already tried unmarking things, but maybe I forgot to check these? No, it seems pretty straightforward. We need this, we need this, we need this, we need this. What if I worked on this one column in a slightly different way, and instead of trying to figure out the C's, what if I tried to guess where the mine is in this or the... Oh, right. What if I tried... I tried, like, putting the mine in all of these 3 squares, but I don't think I tried putting it in these 2. Maybe one of those I'll find is impossible. So let's say I put the mine here. Then no, 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 yes, no, no, no. Seems possible. Wait. It doesn't seem possible. I think I wrote it down wrong. Let's try again. 1 here. We have none of these in the entire column. So this C must be a mine, and this isn't, and this is. That seems fine. This could be a mine. And I think something similar will apply here. No, 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 no. Yes. No. Yes. So if I guess either of these 2, and likewise if I guess here, we get mines here and here. But if I guess one of these 2, I get a different pattern. Right? I get a mine here. And likewise, if I guess here, no, 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 yes, no. So I think there are scenarios in which every one of these, or rather I should say, for each square, there's at least one scenario in which it is a mine and at least one scenario in which it is not. So I can't work things out just from this one. Or even just from the 1 and the C's. Hang on. Have I been stupid this whole time? Oh. Now I know what they feel like on like puzzle channels when they're like, oh, I feel like you guys have been shouting at the screen for a while now, but I just don't see it. I'm like, yeah, but who cares what the audience thinks, right? Which is sort of my opinion, but it's a little bit harder to have that opinion when you're the presenter, so to speak. There are 2 C's, not 1. So this is all very easy now. I would like you to travel back in time and then fast forward the video by like 30 minutes. Because if there are 2 C's, and at most one of them is in this column, this one is a mine. I just like didn't read that number very carefully, or I looked at the B or something, I don't know. This is the last C, right? Yes. So we have this, none of this row. Okay, we're back to making progress again. Just like... It's pretty remarkable what a difference reading one number differently can do to you in a puzzle. It's all about very carefully assessing numbers. Ah, this 1 solves the B's now. We know only one of these 2, therefore these B's have at least 1 mine, and the rest therefore don't. This 4 can be done now. We have 3 already, and there's 1 more here. Excuse me? Nope, there's... yeah. Oh, I'm so... God. This 4 has counted down already. There's 4 left. I'm not allowed to know about this too. Alright, I'm gonna... declare defeat on this puzzle and get back to it another time. because it took a long time and then I screwed up anyway. So I think as long as I read the numbers of C's correctly, it shouldn't be too hard to get back here some other time, maybe off camera. That'll be all we do for today, though. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.